Good evening. Today is Tuesday, July 15th. This is a regular meeting of Trinidad City Council. Will you all please rise for the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. Our first item on the agenda is roll call.
DeBono.
Here.
Shu.
Here.
Thurman. Trahell.
Here.
Ogletree. Here. Williamson.
Here.
Griego.
Here. Item number 2 is approval of the agendas. Does anybody have any corrections to the agenda? Then I need a motion to approve the agenda as stated.
So moved.
Williamson motioned and Mr. DeBono seconded. Yep or no? Sure. You guys sound alike.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Shu seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono.
Yes.
Shu.
Yes.
Trahell.
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Williamson.
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 3, policy items and staff reports. Mr. Bob Just, will you please come forward?
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. How are you guys tonight?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, probably 3-4 weeks ago when I came to you before with the asphalt project, Councilwoman Ogletree asked what are we going to do with the additional funds, and we've been thinking about Linden Street, getting it going, and BNSF came back and they gave us a quote. Our half would be $210,000 plus or minus. Those aren't fixed numbers, but it's their estimated cost to put in the 5 crossings on concrete crossings, get rid of the real rough timbers that are in there. That'd be the start of getting the project. Then we would come back in on another project and fill in with concrete and take it down to where those other crossings were replaced. So, as you know, Linden Street is very rough shape. So, anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up that we could, and that could come out of our basically $1 million fund that we have for streets.
Okay, Aaron, do
you.
you have any questions?
It sounds like a good idea, especially since the railroad wants to share the price of it, and it really is a poor experience to drive across.
Yeah.
It has been for years, so it would be nice to get that taken care of. Good idea.
Yeah, that'd be great. No more, there'd be less wheel lines. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, good question. Good job.
Thanks, Bob.
Sure. Yeah, good idea, Bob. Thank you.
I think that's a fantastic thing to do. The neighborhood and the whole community would benefit.
We'd incorporate the ADA walk on the west side of it. We'd tie into the walk that comes down underneath the viaduct now, or the bridge crossing. And then not too far down there's existing sidewalk we would tie into.
So will that come out of the money in the budget for the asphalt? Or will
Correct.
it come out of the ADA?
It's mostly road work, so we would take it out of the asphalt
Okay.
budget.
Do we have enough surplus that we didn't use when we approved those other projects to cover this $210,000?
Yeah, the proposed asphalt project, I want to say is around 340 plus or minus. So yes, this adds another 210 plus or minus. Then if we do have more money, we talked about maybe extending San Juan an additional block. So,
Okay.
What timeline? Did you mention the timeline? I'm sorry.
I didn't. I just needed to know council's feelings. I could go back to the railroad and say that we got a positive response. If you stir down, if it goes to a vote or however.
No,
I'm unofficial tonight.
No, we don't need a vote. I believe one of the council member, Ogletree, had asked when we presented the paving project, how we intended to use the rest of the budgeted line item. And that's what Mr. Just is here informing you how we'll use it. No votes needed. Obviously, you'll approve the contract when that comes forward. Okay?
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other staff reports?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Item number 4, petitions or communications, oral or written. Public comment section offers an opportunity for any citizen to express opinions or ask questions regarding city services, policies, or other matters of community concern. Any agenda items that are not part of the scheduled public hearing. Those wishing to speak must sign in. We only have one speaker. So you're allowed 5 minutes. I don't have to go through it anymore because Mr. Miller is a veteran. Where are you? Oh, more than one veteran. You're a veteran of speaking at city council. And you're a Marine veteran?
Yeah, I've been shot at and hit more than once.
Okay. Come on up and we'll give it a shot again.
That's how slow I am. Yeah.
I don't know if the city's aware of this or not, but on Sunday afternoon, when I'm helping Pastor Clay with luncheon, apparently around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in that time frame, there's a group comes by and hands out the needles
Yes,
and the Narcan and all that kind of stuff.
yes.
Okay, and there's even look at that, there's even a free condom in here. Isn't that nice? Huh? Anyway, and they got the Sharps container with all the bile stuff on there. I managed to lose the top to it. It's been a rough week. But there's all kinds of good stuff in here. Alcohol pads and all that kind of stuff. Lip balm, all kinds of good stuff. And the problem is, what I've noticed is a lot of these needles are winding up out the grass and all that kind of stuff. They don't really use the Sharps containers. And I don't know where they would turn them into anyway. I mean, they're not going to walk all the way up to the emergency room and turn them in up there at the hospital. So I don't know if there's a collection point for them or not. I've been to several rest areas in Colorado where they actually have Sharp containers in the restrooms, which I thought was a really good idea. I just kind of wondered maybe the city would be proactive and maybe put out a Sharps container, a couple of Sharp containers in the park or something for them to drop their needles in. Because they're all over the place down there in the river, they're all over the place down there. And you know what a hazard that is, especially if you step on one, you know? So it's kind of wondering maybe if we could be a little proactive on something like that. I'm not sure with a metal Sharps container, you don't want to put a plastic one out there because it'll be destroyed, but a metal one might work, you know? Especially in the area where we had the lunch and all that kind of stuff. You know, we're trying to keep the trash out of there. We don't want to lose that spot. We're yelling at them. We're trying to keep the police stuff as best we can. We're still hoping to get another picnic table out there because I know that one was damaged. Some of the homeless people have anger issues and they damaged their picnic table. If I see that going on, I'm damn sure going to call the cops and have that person arrested. But hopefully we'll get that picnic table replaced one of these days. And and there used to be a tarp up. That was kind of nice for the sunshine. That's long since been gone. I don't know if we ever get another one of those up. But anyway, here's my container. I'm not sure the group that does it because I haven't met them yet. I'm going to try to meet up with them next week and see what's going on, see where their funding's from or whatever. If anybody needs some needles, I got free ones. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anything else?
We can't respond, but I will during my council report.
Okay.
All righty.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just noticing the problem is getting worse. Is that proper English?
Worcesters, that's it.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too, Mr. Miller. Item 5, council reports. Mr. Trinidad.
Oh my gosh, no, Dick, no, I don't have anything.
No, I have nothing.
Nothing this week.
And the star students.
Nobody likes us.
I've come after you, so let's not.
Okay, yeah, sorry. All
Okay.
right, I went to the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission and got an update about what's going on with the baseball glove. Mr. Williamson believes that he can have it done by the end of the month. He's run into some problems with rain, and because he's working with concrete, it has to be done with a certain temperature. It has to be, there's water issues out there because that I learned about if you flush a toilet, then other water in the park doesn't work right, or something like that. And so this is the story that I understand that he is working on it, and it's on its way. And then they are finalizing this public art tour, which is going to be it's a really nice brochure that is updated with all the new public art tour options so that people can pick them up. I like the paper that they chose. That's good. And then I ran into, I was out working my yard, which I need to do a lot of work in my yard, and someone drove by and wanted to know why the medians on Colorado are not being watered, because they're not looking very good. They don't look as good as they have in the past. And I told him that I would mention it in my council report.
There's an answer, but we'll let it
It's
stay.
in my city manager
Okay.
report.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, go for it.
I'd say that's a C minus. No, I'm just kidding. Councilman Trujillo and I participated in the 4th of July parade. You forgot about that. We were hostesses to Major General Alice and his wife Brenda. He is the new commander at Fort Carson. And of all the, I haven't met that many, but when the generals come down from Fort Carson, they come to the event and turn around and leave. It was very interesting with General Alice and his wife. They came down July 3rd and toured Trinidad, and they want to come back. So I said, please let us know and we'll give you a tour. They were very excited about Trinidad, and I think it's going to be a good fit. Also, I want to give kudos to all the departments, whether it's administrative, street and bridge, electrical, all the departments that sat there and did so much work for the 4th of July. I mean, that was very, very nice. I never realized until this year how much work city staff puts into putting that firework display. I thought they just bought them, the company came and put them up and lit them, and it was a done deal. But that's not the way it is. We have a lot of dedicated workers with the city of Trinidad, and I want to thank all of you. I can't name you all because I don't know exactly who all you are, but I think it's commendable that you spend your holiday weekend making it better for the residents of Trinidad, and I want to thank you for that. Last but definitely not least, Mr. Miller. We know about those. We're trying to track down who gives them out. Pastor Clay didn't know who they were. Officer Lay didn't know. So if you have, they don't come during lunchtime, they come after.
That's why I missed them last time. One of the girls down there gave me that, and she said the vehicle said Liberty on it.
Okay,
But I will find out. I will be there next Sunday, and I will make sure I find out.
okay, and what time was it?
It was around she said around 4 o'clock when they stopped by.
Okay.
But I think they have a total, they go to Raton and a couple other places too, I was told. But I don't know, I have yet to talk to them too, but I will find out.
Okay, thank you. Just don't get into trouble.
Me?
Yeah.
When have you ever seen me in trouble?
Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Not a problem. I think it's a good thing, but a little bit more regulation or regulated
Yeah,
needs to happen.
right.
I don't want to
Thank
step on any sharp's container out in the park,
No,
running
sir.
around barefoot and playing in the grass. Or laying in the grass and running the one.
you. All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Item 6 is the consent agenda approval. Item 6A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of July 1st, 2025, and it is corrected. Item 6B, approval of bills totaling $6,113,320.71, and approval of the payroll from July 5th through July 18th. I had a list. Some of our grants were received, that's why usually our budget isn't that much. The grants, and then there were transfers from reserves on some of the utilities into the operating fund. So that's why that is so high. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Ogletree and Treehill, call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Treehill?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Randall?
Yes. Item 7A, public hearings. New fermented malt beverage and wine liquor license application filed by Maverick Incorporated, doing business as Maverick number 775 at 420 County Road 71.1.
If you would, please. Mayor? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Go ahead.
Here,
Is that-
Sorry.
Thank you. Mayor, members of council, we have before us Christopher Burton, is that correct?
Yes, Christopher.
Regional Manager with Maverick. Kimberly, ma'am, would you please swear him in if you don't mind?
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear? Oh, wait. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Mr. Burton, you are the regional manager for Maverick, is that correct?
District manager for Southern Colorado, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. And obviously, you're the one who is representing Maverick here this evening in this liquor license application, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Burton, it's my understanding you don't have personal knowledge of the application that was submitted, correct?
No, I've not seen it. I requested it after our short conversation today and said it was too long, 57 pages, so they just sent me the snippets of
I
what's
understand.
been submitted.
Okay, you know generally what is in here, I think.
Correct.
And you're familiar with Maverick and your operations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Burton, I know you were telling me today, I believe you were saying you have 8 stores under your purview, 8 Maverick stores, and 5 that are about to be, 5 new ones?
I have 500 construction today, yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. How long have you been employed with Maverick, if I might inquire?
So I've been with the organization that Maverick currently owns for 13 years.
Okay.
So May of 2011. I've only been operating with Maverick for about 18 months because there was an acquisition of my company. And my previous experience was working for Come and Go, where I opened the Colorado Springs MSA.
Okay, all right, thank you. But sir, so I can, just to kind of develop the record here, first of all, as the mayor indicated when she called this item, this is an application for a fermented malt beverage and wine off-premises liquor license application, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you usually have for Maverick stores?
Yes.
Okay, that's so people can come in and buy fermented malt beverages or beer and other things in wine for off-premises consumption, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and Maverick Inc. is the applicant doing business as Maverick, and I believe this would be Maverick number, it's going to be Maverick number 775?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we're clear, the address of this premises is 16420 County Road 71.1 Street in Trinidad, Colorado?
Yes.
Okay, and you know that the zoning is community commercial?
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you. Sir, just so we know, Maverick Inc. is a Utah corporation formed in 2016. This comes from the application documents. Registered and certified with the Colorado Secretary of State to do business in Colorado as of February 26, 2025. That may be this particular Maverick, I'm not sure.
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you. And sir, if you're aware, am I correct that the officers for Maverick Inc. are Crystal Magalet, I'm sure I mispronounced.
Magalet, yes.
Okay,
She's
thank
the
you, I believe
CEO.
that's what I said. Okay, thank you, okay. Mr. Magalet, Tyler Call, the CFO Treasurer, and John Hillman, the COO.
Yes.
Okay, good. And the directors are Mitchell Steenrod, Charles McIlvaney, Crystal Magalet.
Magalet, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alan Westergaard and Andre Lortz.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, Mr. Burton, I want to ask you, is it correct, sir, that Maverick Inc. has a master file on file with the Colorado Department of Revenue liquor division?
Yes.
Okay, and that is what you use, I believe, for your background information for these individuals, their background checks, all that information?
Correct. All the fingerprinting and all that stuff goes through that master file, and those are the officers listed for the organization.
Okay, and they have all been approved and deemed to be of good moral character through the master file, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, I was going to ask you, and I want to get into this, how many licenses does Maverick have throughout Colorado?
I don't have an exact count on it. I'll tell you that we currently operate over 115 stores here. As far as which ones are on the master file for Maverick and how many are on the master file under the come and go entity doing business as, I would have to defer to somebody in my corporate office on. But we operate 115 stores underneath the Maverick brand today.
Okay, thank you. Now, I want to ask you, sir, as you know, I asked you previously, how many times Maverick has been disciplined for a liquor license violation? Like in the last year, the last 2 years?
Yep.
And will you tell council what that information is, please?
I will, yeah, absolutely. So in the last year, and it's actually just been over a year, under the Maverick master file, we've had one store commit a violation. It was on 7/3. It was store 616 out of Montrose, which is not currently in my division, but it was a first offense. They were sort of 7 days suspension. I think they did 3-day suspension, actual suspension. I can give you the dates if you want, and then did the $500 fine for the other 4 days.
Thank you. And what happened to the employee and the supervisor once they were found to have committed a liquor license violation?
So we have a hard and fast rule at Maverick. If an associate has gone through all their training, which they should do before they ever set foot onto a register, and they still fail a liquor sting or commit a sale, they're terminated automatically. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That training is required from the store director for everybody that comes into the store before they ever touch a register. If that doesn't happen, then we fire the store director as well. It's just hard and fast rule, and we take it that seriously, wanting to be a good corporate citizen in there. I would also say, as an organization, not only do we have that web-based training and the way to track it to make sure that people are trained and properly trained before they get onto the register, but we also have scan-based register transactions. So any age-restricted product, whether that would be alcohol, tobacco, or our lottery, as soon as you scan that product, it's going to pull up a thing on the register where you're supposed to scan the ID. It says scan ID, and it's like ready for it. We do have, and so how we end up getting a violation still is because of DOD. It's like I live in Colorado Springs. We're heavy military up there. If somebody brings in their active duty military card, there is no way to scan a DOD card. So we do have to have a workaround on that process so that we can still accept that military identification. But yeah, anytime there's a propensity for that to happen, then you can still have a fail in there. The response to that is we've worked around the system to do something that we shouldn't have, and against the training, then that person is terminated.
And Mr. Burton, if you would please tell council, you were telling me before about the training that employees get regarding, the sale of alcohol and all those things. If you would please tell.
So we have an internal process called MAT 2.0. As a rather large retailer across the U.S. MAT 2.0 covers all of our training in there. So they get training in-house on our systems on what that age-restricted criteria is. We align that to the tightest standard that we have across the company. So if Kansas had a stronger thing, then we'll change that internal training to match exactly what that strictest state tells us to do. So 50 or plus, we've been there for a really long time for asking for IDs, and actually we move that even to we card all the time. That's why it prompts that register piece in there. And then we also do tips training in places, and we also pay a third-party company to come in and sting us. So we have we participate in the BARS program, And the hope there is that if there is a gap in our system or an associate that's not following the processes, that we'll find that internally through the self-sting piece. So every store gets at least one sting on that, like every 2 months. So 6 times a year, the store will come in and they'll get tested by somebody underage. And there's really strict standards in that as well. If they put it on the register and we don't ask for ID immediately, and they try to scan the product before asking for an ID, they'll still give us like a red card. So it's even more strict than what the state would do in there. And we do that just to make sure we're being responsible with the sale of a restricted product.
And did you say tips training also?
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you. So employees also receive training about not selling alcohol to visibly intoxicated
Correct.
individuals. Okay, thank you. And I want the record of police to reflect that the property is owned by Maverick Incorporated. There is a warranty deed as part of the application materials that reflects that. Mr. Burton, there was, and I know you didn't do this, sir, but a petition was circulated in favor of this application. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So the petition, as of my notes, we use a third party to do that to ensure that we are getting a great cross section of the community that we're going to operate in there.
And sir, I can ask you, I mean, rather than having you looking it up, because it's kind of part of the record, I'm just developing this, but it was done by Liquor Pros.
It was, yeah. So
okay,
Eva Garrison from Liquor Pros is the one that executed it. I can tell you that it happened at the end of June. I was looking for the specific dates in there, but I think they had 276 attempted contacts in there, of which they contacted 181 people in there. The yes, no's, it was 95% yes for the respondents, both business and residential combined, and 5% no's in there. And I think there were 14 people that didn't want to participate either. They couldn't because they were underage or the business owner wasn't there. So it's a very small subsection of people that weren't available to participate or didn't want to.
I think it was 103 in favor and 5 in opposition. I think, and that's what I read, but but resoundingly in favor in the petition, and that is also part of the record. Sir, just want to ask you, how many employees is Maverick going to be employing?
So I haven't received a labor budget for it. We've hired a local store director who's currently training up north. Typically, I'll open a store on the forecasted volume of this one with like 18 plus a store director, so it'd be about 19 people that are just in the store, that are just working within the store.
Okay, all right, good. And I just have a few more questions of you, sir. I want to ask you if you have a familiarity with the Trinidad and Colorado liquor laws.
Yes.
Good. And you understand, sir, that you're completely responsible for the conduct of patrons in your premises, liquor sales on the premises, and you can lose your liquor license if there are any violations that do occur on your premises.
Absolutely.
Okay, good, thank you. And sir, you understand that you have to report any violations that you become aware of. You need to self-report any of those to the city and law enforcement if they are law violations. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then you have an ongoing obligation to comply with city officials, the fire officials, police, city clerk, city manager, city attorney. You understand you need to continue to cooperate with the city of Trinidad?
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you. And you understand, sir, that you can't sell alcohol until you have your local license as well as your state license, and none of that can be done until you have your certificate of occupancy.
Correct.
Okay, good. When are you planning on getting the certificate of occupancy?
TCO, so we are shooting for the last week of August. We'd like to open the store on the 9th. I have to have that TCO or the CO before I can stock any product in there whatsoever. So it's pushed a couple of times. My understanding now is that we're shooting for the TCO to be like end of August, beginning of September, so that we can turn the store over to operations on September
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Burton. Mayor, members of council, I have no further questions.
I have to apologize, Mr. Burton and Mr. Downs. I didn't list the right verbiage for the public hearing. The public hearing information was on the second page, and I neglected to turn the page. So I'm going to pretend like I hit the gavel. Public hearing for consideration of an ordinance amending the zone classifications of property described as 2 parcels of land containing 18,075 square feet, containing 22,848 square feet located in Section 18, Township 33, South, Range 63 West of the 6th Prime Meridian, City of Trinidad, County of Los Animas, State of Colorado, from community, commercial, and industrial to open.
And Mayor, this was for 7A, the new fermented malt beverage and wine liquor license application. I believe there are 2 public hearings listed, 7A and 7B, and the one, I think, this, you just read 7B.
Right, but 7A isn't a, it says public hearing, but it doesn't.
Right, and I think
Okay.
that's separate.
All right, I made 2 errors.
That's all right. That's okay.
So that's what I get for making fun of.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
But I'm done. Any questions of council?
You covered the questions that I was going to ask. I just want to know, are you going to have Cinnabons?
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We are slowly getting them rolled back out. So actually, there's a initiative right now to bring the packaged Cinnabon into all of our locations where they've been like in 10%-ish of them before. It'll roll out later this fall. We're having a little bit of trouble making sure that we can get all the product to support it all, and we don't want to introduce it and then have out of stocks. So we're going to slow roll it through the fall. But yes, Cinnabon on its way.
That was really important.
It was. Good thing you answered that
Important
correctly.
things were covered.
Mr. Devine?
No, thank you so much. Still rated #1 in the cleanest restaurant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hit it again this year with CSP shops, yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, no questions. Thank you for
Thank you.
bringing Matthew to Trinidad.
Yeah, no questions. I'm just excited about the ice, so.
Yeah. You like the raspberry ice?
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
The whole nugget ice, I like it too. It crunches better, right?
Right?
Thank you for coming to Trinidad. I think it's going to be great. I did have a question for you, Mr. Downs.
Yes, sir.
Just, I guess probably more curiosity than anything else. When it's a liquor license like this for a large corporation, I've been thinking back, and I don't remember having one where the actual group of people petitioning for the license haven't been present. Is that pretty standard for corporate applications?
It is, and you're right, frequently applicants will have 1 or more petition circulators who are actually here. But because there's an affidavit of circulation and the things that are done and that are in this application, I think it is sufficient.
I'm sorry, I mean, the people that are applying for the license, they're not present. Is that pretty common?
Oh, yeah, it is, well, it's uncommon for a normal liquor license application, but it's common for a big corporation.
Okay.
Your question, I'm sorry, I'm listening. No, but it can be common, and as long as it's a person that has knowledge of the operation, it is, especially with the master file.
Okay, so, I mean, it's just to be thorough, it's not out of the norm then?
Correct. It's a little unusual. I don't want to completely misstate it, but people do it people do it fairly frequently for a big corporation.
I've done these about 18 times,
Okay.
and there's only once that they've had legal, like somebody, like a lawyer come in with me, and that's because maybe the petition didn't show favorably, or maybe there was like some problems with the community and like people complaining about it. If they sense that there's huge opposition, but I've never had a CEO or CFO or any of the people that are on the license in one of them. Just from my experience, it's always been like, I'll be the one that ends up ultimately responsible for the operation down here and making sure that all the things that we need to be doing are doing. I think it's good that we come. Those guys are in Salt Lake, and I mean,
Okay.
they wouldn't know until something happened.
So, but for the record then, Mr. Downs, it's within the normal purview to approve it under these conditions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I do appreciate it. I don't have any further questions.
Just a clarification more than anything. On page 12 of the application, there's 2 questions that were answered yes, and they're supposed to be, we didn't get the additional sheets when it said respond. One, you did clarify about the suspended or revoked license, but it wasn't part of our package. And then number 1 is the applicant, and it is including any of the partners and partnership members or managers of a limited liability company or officers, stockholders, or directors of a corporation or managers under the age of 21. And they put yes on that one too.
Okay. So that, I'm
doesn't
sure
make-
that's incorrect. I mean,
They
no one,
probably answered it incorrectly.
I think that's right.
So you don't have any corporate officers that are under 21.
That's my knowledge.
Okay. I just wanted clarification.
You're talking about the people that are on that front page?
Yes.
None of those people are under 20.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The hearing is now.
Mayor, I had a question. I apologize. And I failed to notice that, but is that a concern if it's filled out improperly, or can that be clerically amended?
It can be clerically amended. It absolutely can be. I am sure that none of the people that are on the master file with the Department of Revenue are underage. And so we can have that clerically amended, absolutely. And we will do that. And I'm sorry that I didn't catch that. But yeah, we can have that amended clerically, yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
No further questions.
Okay, do we have any comments from the public? There being none, the hearing is closed.
Thank you.
Ms. Mayor, members of the council, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, sir.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the malt beverage and wine liquor license application by Maverick number 775.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Okay, here we go again. Item 7B. Public hearing for consideration of an ordinance amending the zone classifications of property described as 2 parcels of land containing 18,075 square feet and containing 22,848 square feet located in Section 18, Township 33, South, Range 63 West of the 6th Prime Meridian, City of Trinidad, County of Los Animas, State of Colorado, from community commercial to industrial, community commercial and industrial to open. The hearing is open.
Evening, Mayor, Council. So this is a rezone application. I'm going to go back, kind of go outside the rezone. This is a small step and a little bit bigger of a thing, but back in January, earlier this year, Council approved a contract to purchase property in the Holy Trinity subdivision from Kip Hamden LLP. That's the applicant for this one as well. And in that, the staff mentioned that there will be a second purchase of a property coming. There's going to be some work to be done. This is that work. So some point here in the future, we'll be coming back on a second purchase of property from Kip Hamden. And that was a lot of meetings with Mr. Yerman and myself, if you guys kind of remember, leading up to that. So for this, this has been a collaborative effort between the city and the applicant. And there's kind of two steps to this. There's a boundary line adjustment that's being done, that can be done administratively. We kind of did it through we processed it like a minor subdivision. And that property is of the old Noah's Ark property, right there next to Los Niños Park. The access drive from Chestnut to the old Noah's Ark, and then a large piece of river bottom. So I think in the packet, I tried to, as best I could, get you guys some decent pictures to know where exactly we're talking about. I think the last page is probably black and white, but you can see there's an access drive, the Los Niños, the old Noah's Ark next to Los Niños and the old city garage. And then there's a big chunk that's kind of covered over, it has a transparency to it, that goes down the river. It goes on both sides of the river, and then kind of goes onto the north side of the river, and then kind of jogs back at the end. So that's kind of where we're talking, is for that minor lot line minor adjustment. So for that, to complete that, we have to do a rezone, because two of those parcels are one zoned commercial, the other one's zoned industrial. We're going to zone them to open. That way it has one zoning district, it's one piece of property, and then hopefully in the coming month, hopefully weeks, I don't quite know the time frame, we could go forward on purchasing that. So we moved the 22,848 square feet of the D and RG subdivision. That's the old Noah's Ark property. That's next to the old city garage. Currently zoned community commercial. And then 18,075 square feet of the Kip Hampton subdivision number 1. That's the access way along that. That's zoned industrial. So requesting the zoning them both to open. And then about those, the reason this is a good purchase for the city, and I'll explain this later obviously, but the reason we're kind of going with this is the access in the park, and then you guys know there's Los Niños Park upgrade improvements. We need some parking for that. So having that Noah's Ark property is going to be direct access for that parking to the pickleball courts. So it's going to help us better use that amenity that we're putting in, installing right now. And then having access to it, having control of that access is also a big piece to it. And then the river part is, that's going to speak more to the river visioning, trying to get more control of the river and not less doubt on who owns this and that. So that's the major, that's why it kind of worked out well. Like I said, it's been a collaborative effort between the applicant and the city. And that's all I have, really. I'm open to questions. We have Tim Lamb as well online for the applicant.
Mr. Lamb, how are you?
I'm good,
Okay.
Mayor. How are you?
Good. We're going to open it up to questions from council and then from the public. Mr. Williamson, do you have any questions?
I have no questions. I appreciate the continued efforts to improve what's available in Trinidad and to turn stuff to just a lot better looking places for our community. So thank you.
I have no questions. I'm just glad we're acquiring this finally, so thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for all your work, Nick.
Nothing, thank you, Nick.
The only thing I had was, what's the significance of Valentine Open Space, that designation? Is that?
Yeah, so we got to name it. We did the bylaw. We did the the minor subdivision. We got to name it. This is Mike Valentine's. This was his dealings. He is his idea. He works with Tim Lamb and company. So he was not happy. It was the last day he was here. We finally got the plat in, and I brought it up to him. I said, "Here, you want to take a look at it?" And he was, him. He's looking through the plat itself and doesn't. I said, "How do you like the name of the corner?" And he goes, "Oh, I can't stand it." Just thank you for him do all this work on this one. Yeah, it wasn't my idea either, because I know Mike.
That's all I have.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's come in and pinched us more than once.
Yeah.
So, this is great. We've been working on this for quite a while, so I have no questions. Are there any Comments or questions from the audience? There being none, the hearing is closed. Item B, item 7B1, first reading of an ordinance amending the zone classifications of property described as two parcels of land containing 18,075 square feet and containing 22,848 square feet located in Section 18, Township 33 South, Range 63 West of the 6th Prime Meridian of the City of Trinidad, County of Los Animas, State of Colorado, from community, commercial, and industrial to open and setting a hearing date for consideration of said ordinance for August 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I need someone to enter the ordinance.
We'll introduce it.
Okay, Mr. Shu introduces. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Williamson moves. Second.
Second.
DeBono seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 8A. Thank you, Mr. Lamb, for being available.
Thank you very much.
Item
Thank you.
8A, resolution of the City Council of the City of Trinidad, Colorado, determining that an election is required to submit to the voters one referred measure and that such election should be held as a coordinated election. I need a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Shu, second.
Second?
Trujillo, seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 8B, consideration of Clay Creek Land Lease Agreement and the Interconnection Agreement.
Good evening. So in your packets, well, first of all, I have Rick Reigel online with us as well as Dave Pachicho in case I
I'll
can't.
have Dave sit down. Should you be up there?
Yeah.
So in your packets, you have the land lease agreement as well as the interconnection agreement for the solar farm. Just a couple of points that I want to make. So Lamar is one of the members that's also doing the solar farm. So Lamar had provided their interconnection agreement to CIRSA. There were some comments provided back, and so the information you have in your packet is not the information that CIRSA had provided back to us. So just kind of want to put that out there. ARPA attorney as well as Clay Creek have reviewed it. Clay Creek had accepted everything. I'm going to leave your decision, leave it up to your decision if you want to just remove the interconnection agreement and just approve the land lease agreement, or we can bring the interconnection agreement to you back in August. Just because what's in your packet is doesn't have the CIRSA edits in there. So
What's easier for staff?
We have no preference, Mayor.
They don't have
Thank
any
you.
preference.
We have no preference. Mr. Downs reviewed both. We were comfortable with it. We were unaware that Lamar was going to submit it to CIRSA. We have not had a chance as staff to review those changes. So I think your options are this. You can table the entire item and bring it back in August. You can approve the land lease and table the interconnection agreement. Or we would ask if you do approve both, that you do so allowing for us to review those CIRSA changes. And so those are the three options. My preference would probably be that we would have a chance to review it before you approve it on the
I
interconnection.
agree.
Yes.
And there's
And be
no,
consistent with that.
Yes.
there's no negative effects for any of those options? I mean, there's not a chance we would lose the solar farm or anything
No.
like that? Okay.
And so your choice really is if you want to table both items or if you want to move forward with the land lease.
Cleanest options.
Okay.
Let's motion and see where the vote goes.
I'd make a motion to table until August meeting, item 8B, for consideration of Creek Land Lease Agreement and Interconnection Agreement
Thank you, Linda.
You want
in
to
its entirety.
in its entirety. Is there a second?
August.
Second.
Okay.
First August.
Williamson
Better to do it clean, I think.
and Shu. Seconded. Okay, call the vote.
Shu second.
DeBono?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Griego?
No. My preference would be to approve the land lease and then do the interconnection at another date, but majority rules.
We'll bring it back August 5th with the changes from Sursa
Okay.
reviewed.
Did, Linda, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Is Lahana happy with this? Are they doing anything? Because they're building a solar farm there too.
Yeah, I don't think, Rick, do you want to answer that? I don't think any of the solar farms are in place, correct?
You mean any of the agreements?
Actually, the solar farms, they're not, none of them are operating yet, correct?
Oh, no, they haven't started construction on anything yet.
Is that what you're asking?
No, I was asking if Lahana was concerned about the contract deal with Sursa.
Has Lahana taken anything or brought anything back? I know they did their land lease, right, already?
Yeah, and no, I've not heard anything negative from any of the other members, quite frankly. And I guess just as a point on the Sursa comments, it had to do, all the Sursa comments, as you can imagine, had to do with the insurance and, the insurance requirements. And I think they made a better document out of it as far as the members are concerned. It was all, a proposed language to strengthen the insurance on all that. Like I said, Clay Creek didn't have a problem with accepting Sursa's changes and so on. I have not heard anything from any other members on that.
Point of order, Mayor?
Yes.
I believe, I'd ask Les and city manager, but I believe since we haven't moved on, if council is unhappy with that vote, we could actually make a motion to untable and open to discussion again, I believe.
I'll defer to Les.
Well, you could, but I'm not sure that I would recommend that. Simply because, and I heard everything that Rick just said, but it would be nice if we could look at the changes and know what they are, right?
I personally believe it's, as long as we're not losing the option of or the potential for, it's easier to just do it in one clean motion myself.
I agree, and I think that August 5th is coming up soon.
I just wanted to.
You wanted to give me.
Throw that
No,
wrench in there.
I took what you said seriously. So.
But you know what?
Right.
If you get attorneys and insurance professionals together, there's got to be a problem.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, the motion passed. It's tabled, the land lease agreement and the interconnection agreement will be tabled until our next meeting of August 5th. Item 9, reports by city manager and city attorney.
Thanks, Rick. We appreciate you
Thank
attending.
you.
You bet. Good night.
So quite a bit has happened in the past 2 weeks. I have a kind of funny story about myself. So I said to Mom, hey, we get a 3-day weekend. Let's get ready for 4th of July weekend. And then I came to work that Monday and set a staff meeting, and staff started describing all of the things that happened on 4th of July. And it occurred to me in the middle of that I'm the city manager, and I was gonna need to be there. So that's kind of the funny story on the things that go on in your head. So at any rate, I was there, and it was fantastic. And it was my first 4th of July as city manager, and I wouldn't change a moment of it. The 2 parades were so interesting because the first one came through and it was the military parade, and everyone was standing at attention. And if I was going to describe that parade, I would say it was about respect and service. And our community loves the military. And so respect and service was seen all through. And then no later than 10 minutes after the last car passed, I would describe the next parade as joy and wonder, because water was everywhere. There wasn't a window in the downtown that wasn't wet, and there wasn't a person either. Kids were in the street. They had water guns. We had led off by our fire department and followed by all the regional volunteer fire departments, private businesses, anyone who had a truck with water in it. And I literally mean a pickup truck with water in it was in the water parade. So those two contradictions of respect and service and joy and wonder, I think they say a lot about our community. It was really neat to watch. It was nice to go to the picnic afterwards and get to meet the general and see the military services that happened, and kind of bringing into focus the 4th of July and maybe the traditional historic meaning of it. And then, of course, baseball. And the wonderful thing of watching kids running all over our park, and our amazing park, and the renovations that we've done, and how neat it was to see those in action and watch the Triggers play. They just almost won, but they just didn't quite get there. But it was a great game. And then, of course, the fireworks. What a wonderful thing for our community to be able to do. The mayor alluded to all the work that went in, and it really started. We had employees at midnight, at 1 o'clock, that were still working, that had started at 10 o'clock the day before. I mean, it was really a 24-hour process. So our fire department, our police department, our public works, streets and parks, our gas, water, and power departments were part of wiring fireworks. I don't know if you knew this, but we actually wire the fireworks. They just come as these little bags of colored magic. And our utility departments and public works actually wire those up in the tubes that the city owns. It included trash collection. Even the landfill was involved at 1 o'clock in the morning. Even the raccoons were out having the last bits of hot dog and funnel cake in the park as Public Works cleaned up. It was great for me to kind of get an experience of what it was like for law enforcement on the ground. Some of you have inquired about how that works, because literally if you're in town on 4th of July, from the beginning to the end, fireworks never stop. Between 8:19 and 1:28 in the morning, dispatch took 112 calls for fireworks. So I thought that was extreme until I read that Colorado Springs had 575 calls in a similar time frame. So it goes something like this: the fireworks are going off, and you get the call, and you go to the neighborhood, and of course there's no firework going off. So you get another call, and you go to the neighborhood. So I'm simplifying it, but I would just say for our law enforcement patrols that were out that night, they were quite busy, because along with fireworks come alcohol and all the other things of people having a wonderful time, and maybe overdoing it in some cases. So thank you to the amazing city staff that from 10 o'clock on Thursday morning to 2 o'clock on Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then some of them were back up at 5 o'clock getting ready for farmers market in the park on Saturday. So pretty amazing stuff for 4th of July. I also want to thank Linda Barron and the Veterans Committee for the wonderful job that they do, and emphasize that it's amazing to watch people use our parks, and then, they take their trash and they clean up after themselves. And it was really, I know, because we're going to be having a lot of discussions about parks, the importance of that particular point. I also want to say that this week we hosted the Office of Economic Development and International Trade. We had 6 or 7 professionals from that office down. We discussed small manufacturing and the Rural Jumpstart programs, the potentials of new programs for technical assistance and support for employee ownership models. We discussed tax credits, including 2 new programs that local building owners can utilize for development. We discussed creative industries, the film office, and tourism. That visit was made possible by our partnership with Emergent Campus. I see Joseph in the audience today. He and Christine and Jeff were central to organizing that tour. And I'll remind you from my last report that in the meeting with the county, the city and county are utilizing Emergent Campus to be our economic development partner in leads. And in fact, talking with Christine this afternoon, we already have an employee ownership model lead that we want to pursue for a business we may lose if we don't. We also participated this last week in a visit with some investors, particularly several from Denver that are looking at the Columbian as a potential hotel. So that was a nice visit, and more maybe for that to come. The city and county met this week with the Purgatory Watershed Partnership, and we met regarding their current available funding that they have in place for the design and construction of fish passages along the river. Both the county manager and I were able to understand what the grants are for, able to understand what the timelines are and what the next steps are, and we're excited to announce that that will be moving to conceptual design very quickly. What was really neat about that discussion is we understood where that conceptual design will fit and what we overall have been planning for the river. And it feels like a very good fit. And so as those concepts come online and they come together with the concepts we already have, we're excited to see this is the first step in our collaborative. Although collaboration's been going on for the past 2 years, this was my first opportunity to participate in a collaborative process for the river projects. Northside water tanks back in service. So Northside serves the Colorado Islands that you referenced, as well as that section of town. So if you live in that section of town, you'll notice water pressure is really low. So I went out with Public Works and looked at those islands, and it went something like this. The water sprinkler would pop up and it would just trickle out to about 2 or 3 inches on either side. So that's why the islands are so grim. But we do believe they'll come back. We have no reason to believe that they won't. The water pressure is returning. If you live in that area of town, you're going to see that fully returned. It came back in service this week. The next tank will be Southside Tank. So Southside serves our ball fields and several other areas in town. I'm happy to announce that when Southside goes offline, we are going to have a bypass from the Allendale tank. So we will not be without water in that area. Pressure may be affected a little bit, but it's really important that we keep those ball fields watered in the month of August. So that's what's coming next with that, that project. Department heads are receiving their budget worksheets. Cheryl was sending them out an hour before the meeting. So they're out and we are launched and we're getting started with budget. We also are in contact with unions and those negotiations start in August. So pretty soon we'll be dominating your discussions and work sessions with budget discussions. So that's coming soon. The finance director posting closes this Friday. We have a couple of exciting prospects. We'll see how that goes. We're looking at them. We had hoped not to have to go to a recruiter. I'll know a little bit more in another week. Police chief closes the next Friday. We had 8 applicants, 8 qualified applicants as of today. I haven't seen those yet. I'll get my first peek at them next week. Communications and community relations closed. We had over 30 applicants. We're going to be interviewing for 3 this week, so we're excited about those. We have really good candidates for that, so we're excited about that. The school district is requesting our assistance in applying for a GOCO grant. So at next Monday's work session, we will have a short special meeting right before we start our work session discussion so that we can bring forward a request from the school district in authorizing the city to apply to GOCO for funds on behalf of the school district to do their ball fields. I believe you remember several weeks ago they came before us and talked about that project. They are working out the details. I should have them by Thursday or Friday. So I'll have more details, but the way that would work is that we would be the applicant, they would write the grant. If awarded, we would do an MOU with them. We would be the pass-through agency for the funding. They would manage the project. So that's conceptually how we think it would work. It is going to be a very competitive round. I had an opportunity to meet with GOCO on our river project the other week, which we're not pursuing in this grant round, but she did mention it was going to be extremely competitive. So I can't comment on the chances, but I think unless you differ next Monday, we may want to partner with the school district and try to help them out. This upcoming work session on Monday, in addition to that quick item on special meeting, we're also going to include an item that was requested in March by 4 of you. So this request predated me. Mr. Valentine had held the request. Mr. Williamson brought it up at the last meeting, so we're bringing that forward on the 21st. The item will be listed on the work session as increased public safety of parks, streets, and public spaces. So while we're going to concentrate on that subject, we do have, I've gone back and looked at previous meetings when you've talked about this subject, and there's actually some open items that we may want to discuss, like encampments or the coalition and the relationship of the city with the coalition. So those may work themselves into the discussion, and we'll be working, the clerk's office and I will be working with how to notice that. We're also going to be talking about an update of an ordinance for special events and park permits, and then we're going to be talking about some posting and some signs that we're creating for the purpose around this. So if you would like anything else discussed under that comprehensive bullet that you have not, let us know. Please get with me by Thursday so we can include that in the item. That will be the main item, although we may have some other small items on the work session agenda. Okay, that is the report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mine's a little longer. Okay. Just kidding. Mayor and council members, so first of all, we did not read the findings on the Maverick matter. So what I would ask is, if it's okay, and I know, it's that hearing is closed, but the findings are in your packet, and I am just asking that this be part of the record. These memorialize everything that happened. The blanks are not filled in, but we will fill these in based on the testimony that was elicited during the hearing, if that's okay. I was going to suggest that Councilwoman Ogletree can read the findings now, but it's kind of out of place, or Councilman Williamson, sorry. But I think it's out of place now and is not necessary. Do you want to read?
It's after the fact and after the
It
meeting.
is. It's kind of out of place, and again, they do memorialize everything that was testified to by the witness, so I think that's okay. But I did just want to mention that. I would like to say goodbye to Cheryl. I'm sorry she's not here this evening.
I was going to do that. But
but what a great career, what a great person, how lucky we have been to have her, and I'm sorry that she's not here. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, and man, she served us well for a lot of years. I was going to tell her that the $3 abacus that I got her years ago, that works in New Mexico too. It goes across state lines. And then the only other thing I wanted to say is please look at your emails. I've sent you a couple of emails recently. For those of you who are not email inclined, we have hard copies of my emails to you and for you, and those will be matters of executive sessions in the coming meetings. But that's all I have. Sorry, I can't compete.
No,
with this one.
thank you for that.
No. But Tara and I do kind of match this evening. So we're going to try to coordinate all of our outfits.
We are.
So
That's good. He has the wide variety of ties.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor.
As long as he doesn't wear a Raiders tie.
Yeah, that's
The only item, just a reminder, as Marshall mentioned it, we have a work session July 21st. That's Monday at 3 o'clock. Okay, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Shu, second.
Second.
Mr. DeBono, call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes.